Hi, and welcome to section 11 here. We're talking about order operations part 5. So once again, we're continuing on with evaluating expressions. We need to know the order of operation. We need to know where to start, how to continue as we work our way through evaluating expressions and finding out what they come out to equal here. So with that being said, in the following expression, which operation should you evaluate first? So if we look at this, remember, those fraction bars act as grouping mechanisms. So it's going to be as if they are in parentheses. With that being said, parentheses come first, then exponents, then multiplication, division, then addition, subtraction. So take a look, parentheses. We're going to zoom in on the parentheses first. Inside the parentheses, the order of operation kicks over. So we're going to look there and we're going to say, okay, we've got no extra parentheses. Exponents. Do we have exponents? And as a matter of fact, yes, we do. So the first thing you're going to do to evaluate this is 2 to the third. Same story in the following expression. Which operation should you evaluate first? Start with parentheses, then go to your exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So start with your parentheses. Do you have parentheses? Oh, yes, we do. So our parentheses are going to end up being what we do first. So the first thing that gets evaluated is 4 plus 2. So you might think, well, hey, I don't get to addition until the end. And that's okay because that addition is inside the parentheses. And anything inside the parentheses is going to trump anything outside of the parentheses there. So it takes over and it is 4 plus 2. Which of the following choices correctly describes how to evaluate the following expression? So you've got parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. Okay, now parentheses. We see parentheses. Now these are brackets. So if there's parentheses inside parentheses, sometime you'll see this where the outermost parentheses are brackets. It's just kind of an organizational piece that you have. So when you see that, just know that those are parentheses. They're treated like parentheses. They're called grouping symbols. So with that being said, once we get inside the parentheses, the order of operation kicks over. So we're going back to, well, parentheses. And with that, there is another set of parentheses inside. So what we need to do is we need to evaluate that parentheses. So the first thing we're going to do is 2 minus 1. Well, if you look at this, it kind of cancels out a lot of those, okay? Because what you're going to do is do 2 minus 1, and real quick, it's going to say 4 minus 2 times 3, and 2 minus 1 is 1, plus 1. So what you would do then is you would say add 3. So you're going to add 3 here. Then it's multiplication. Whatever you get there would be 4. You'd multiply by 2, and then you'd subtract it from 4. So this is our choice. We found it right away, but it's good to go through and practice that again. And then we want to evaluate the expression. So looking at this, order of operations, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. You might be getting sick of me saying that, but it's important to know the order of operation. Look inside the parentheses, and inside we see multiplication. Remember, multiplication is before any addition. So this is going to be 7 plus, and this right here is going to be 0.5 times 4. You can do it on a calculator, or you can think, what if you had 4 halves? What would you have? Well, 0.5 times 4, you'll find that it comes out to be 2. So this is going to end up being 2, and this is going to be plus 1 half. So what you have is parentheses. Let's get those cleaned up. So it's going to be 0.4 times 9 plus 1 half. So 0.4 times 9, 0.4 times 9 is going to be 3.6. Now, if you look at this, you'll see that we've got one fraction and one decimal. You can just turn this into a 0.5. So 3.6 plus 0.5 is going to land you at 4.1. 4.1. Evaluate the following expression. So we're looking at this. We see parentheses. First thing we want to do is those parentheses. So 5 minus 3 is going to be 2. So it's going to be 8 times 2 times 0.25. Now this is all multiplication. This is all multiplication right here, so go left to right. So 8 times 2 is going to be 16 times 0.25. Well, 0.25 times 16 comes out to 4. So this is going to be 4 plus 13, which is going to end up giving you 17. Now, last piece that we're going to talk about here is evaluating. So anytime you're given a situation like this, evaluate the expression when x equals 14. Evaluating, we're taking this number and we're plugging it in wherever there is an x. Now, notice in this situation, we've done a few problems like these before, but never with a square. But anyway, anywhere there's an x, you put a 14. So 14, and use parentheses when you plug it in. 14 plus 11. So you're looking at this, and 14 squared is going to be our first piece of the puzzle here. Is going to be 196. And we know 5 times 14 is going to be next. So 5 times 14 is going to be 70 plus 11. And now we're just going to add across. So 196 plus 70 plus 11 is going to be 277. So our solution here is going to be 277 with that. So evaluate the expression when m equals 28. So once again, we're going to take that number 28 and we're going to put it into the expression. So in this case, it's going to be 28 over 7 to the third. So start with your order of operation. Look inside the parentheses. It's going to be 28 over 7, which is 4. And now it's going to be 4 to the third, which we know is going to be 4 times 4 times 4. Or you can say 4, this little caret key to the third is going to be 64. And then last one, evaluate the following expression when d equals 3, right, as a whole number, a simplified improper fraction. So we've got a 3 that's going to get plugged in everywhere there's a d. Notice there's multiples. So it's going to be 4 times 8 minus 3 over 2 plus 3. Now remember, the top is a grouping and the bottom is a grouping. So we're going to operate inside of these parentheses, and then we're going to get them all the way cleaned up, and then we'll see what happens. So look in the top, innermost parentheses, 8 minus 3 is going to be 4 times 5 is what's going to happen on top, and bottom is going to be that 2 plus 3. So let's just do this in one step here. We know that 4 times 5 is going to be 20, and I know on bottom 2 plus 3 is going to be 5. So what is 20 divided by 5? Well, that comes out to be 4. So once again, evaluating wherever that shows up, you're replacing the variable with that number. Okay? Boom. You're replacing the variable with that number. Follow the order of operations.